think just going back to this question then, so hopefully I don't think I'll answer this further down the line, but if you think about what some of the motives are for government investment in PE in school sport. So hopefully government investment in PE in school sport improves physical activity. If we improve physical activity of young children, hopefully they become lifelong physically fit. So it reduces the impact on the National Health Service, which I think is probably about £600 million a year, is wasted because we're treating patients with cardiovascular disease, with obesity, with diabetes, with hypertension. All conditions that are a result of lack of physical activity. So if we can address that in the schools, we can develop more people with lifelong physical activity. The government might decide that far too many children at the minute are obese, so they see PE as a way to reduce the obesity epidemic. So the government could have ulterior motives as to why they want to shape and tell us how PE in school sports should look like. So they probably see it as a way that they can influence voters and get support by influencing parents that obviously have children that go to school. It might be that if we look at the Chinese model is China is a communist country, so it works on a dictatorship model. They see sport as a sign of political prestige. So if China does well at the World Championships or the Olympics, any major sporting championships, it reflects the success of the country. It reflects how healthy the country is. So the government in China will use sport and invest in sport because politically it makes the country look good around the world. So is it that the government think, right, if we can influence what goes on in school sport, we can get more talented young children coming out, we can do better in major championships, and it reflects how the UK does or looks on the world market. Okay, so I just want to talk around some of the strategies that were introduced to support PE in England, Ireland, Scotland and Wales. So most of the strategies have been built around something called PE in school sport, or what we call PES. So PE school sport was a strategy that was introduced in Wales. Similar strategy was introduced in England called PESCL, PE School Sport Club Links, and then PESCL sort of evolved into something called PESUP, which is PE School Sport Youth Policy Strategy. And then more recently in England, they've produced something called a Youth Sports Strategy. So these are the major programs that have been, I suppose, shaped by the government to influence what goes on in our schools. Okay, second task then. So again, we take about 10 minutes for this. Since 2002, the government has invested £1.5 billion in school sport in England and Wales. If you can, I mean, obviously you guys have come through a school sports system in your respective countries. So I just want you to think about, if you're from Ireland, England, Scotland, Wales, for you guys, what has been the recognisable impact of this investment? So as you've come through, probably not so much primary school, but secondary school, what did your PE experience look like? And did you recognise the impact of any government investment in PE in school sport? So if you just discuss it, you'll all have different opinions. Some of you might come from different countries, different counties, schools in different areas. So what was the recognisable impact of that £1.5 billion invested in your school sport or PE programme? And then if you can present your ideas back to the rest of the group. Okay, so hopefully you've come up with similar answers to me. So this is what I came up with. The investment, as I said at the start, the investment of the government has got clear outcomes. So the major focus of the government investment was to improve participation. So in England, Ireland, Scotland and Wales, the government would have said, right, by 2015, we will want 90% of 11 to 16-year-olds to be participating in 2 hours of PE a week. So that's the sort of targets that they would have put, or the outcomes that they would have put. Then there will also be sort of sub-targets. So it might be improving physical fitness, physical activity, whole school improvement. So did you recognise any of these things improving when you were in school? So did you see an increase in physical fitness? So if you've gone from in your school PE lessons to having 1 hour a week to 2 hours a week, did you see a sharp rise in physical fitness? Did the physical fitness rise because the quality of PE was better? Children were more motivated? Did you see a decline in obesity? If you read the news a couple of weeks ago, the obesity epidemic in the UK is supposedly worse than ever. So we've had £1.5 billion invested by the government in PE and school sport to get attitudes to PE better and get more people engaged in physical activity. And yet obesity has gone up. So why is it? Is it because of gaming and social media and nutrition and more readily available food, reduction of playing fields? Has that all counteracted the increase in PE? Has there been an increase in competitive sport? So the government wanted more kids' competitive sport, so that it contributes to talented performance. So have we seen an increase there? Could you see 2 hours of high quality PE? Did the extracurricular school program improve? So there was more opportunities beyond the school day, lunchtime, before school. What about academic performance? There's a lot of research out there that suggests if you those children that are more physically active and engaged in physical activity, it has an impact on academic performance. And also whole school improvement. Again, there's a lot of research that suggests kids that are more physical, more physically active, engage in PE, they socially they're better, psychologically they're better, emotionally they're better. They're more rounded, holistic individuals. So these are some of the things you should have noticed as a result of government investment, but I'm not sure whether you would have actually recognised that.